Hey, what's good, everybody? It's D'Lo the Vet Bro here. Thank you for stopping on by over at the On the Gun Line podcast. And today we're doing a Vet Bro reaction to bodybuilder arrested over VA disability scam. And I tell you what, this is one of those topics that it really irks the hell out of me. This is one of those things that one thing I don't like is people who exaggerate their disability or those that defraud. All right. They're embellish, I guess you could say, their disabilities or what's going on with them in order to get monetary gains. And honestly, hey, I'm not a hater. Do what you do. Um, if it's something that you've earned. All right. But here's the thing about disabilities and lying to the VA. It's as veterans, it's already hard enough for us to file and get our claims approved by the VA personnel. All right. With people like the one that we're going to review or react to right now, they make it harder for those that are actually battling either demons in their head or have disabilities that doctors will start saying, "Oh, they're lying, they're lying." You know what I'm saying? And it's just we have so much bureaucracy and documents and all kinds of crap, hoops that we have to jump through in order just to get what we've already earned, what we are entitled to, what we fought for, what we served for, and people like the one that we're going to go over right now make it just that much more difficult. And it pisses me off, dude. It really does. I'm probably gonna get a little passionate, as people say, over this one. It's a 5 minute video. I don't know how long it's gonna go, how much I'll be pausing. I haven't gone through it yet. All I know it says bodybuilder arrested over VA disability scam. And again, motherfuckers like this are the ones that make it difficult for those that are actually legit messed up. You know what I mean? Or uh, anyways, we'll just go ahead and check it out. All right. If this is your first time coming through here or a repeating time that you've come through here and you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I need you to hit that subscribe button because we're moving up slowly but surely. And I can't do it without your guys' help and assistance. So if you dig what I'm doing here, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, hit that thumbs down in the comments. Let me know where you're tapping in from and what your thoughts are on this issue here. And yeah, we'll go through it from there. Let's go ahead and keep on going, and let's go ahead and give you a cool ass vet bro reaction.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
So I don't know the whole story to this yet, and this one might ruffle some feathers on some people because again, I keep it 100 with y'all. All right, like that disability fucking check, baby. Keep it 100. The rating that is. And apparently this is probably what this dude was trying to do. And I've seen many people. All I'm going over right now is I'm just viewing this guy's picture. And what irks the shit out of me is that I know people, I see them on Instagram, that they're 100% rated. They claim to have all these debilitating issues. And yet they're out there posting fucking videos or trying to give advice on bodybuilding and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you claim all this, but you're out here being a fucking beast? You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. I'll put myself as an example. I got back issues, like big time back issues. And because of that, I'm limited to what I can and can't do, what I can and can't lift. And how much physical assertion I could do, even when I was working in my last job, like that shit was breaking me the fuck off, dude. And eventually it got to the point where it was like, man, toma, I don't need this shit because honestly, it's not worth injuring myself anymore. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hear this. I don't. Oh, it's from TYT. So shout out to TYT, whatever that is, their channel, and let's go ahead and see what they got to say.
What I'd like to do is introduce you all to this gentleman on the left named Zachary Barton. There he is with his wife, Nicole. Here's another shot of the happy couple, or at least happier and better times. The reason I say this, follow along on this journey because it is a doozy. Now, this is the story of a bodybuilder, a scam, and one of
So I'm just pausing it because I want to shout out Rick Strom, who is the one that's doing this video here. So shout out Rick Strom. Hope you don't mind that I'm using your video. Damn, I say a lot, don't I? But thank you for posting this up there. I don't know if Rick is a veteran or not, but we'll find out. So go follow at Rick Strom. He looks like he's on IG, on the little Twitter bird, and what is that? The Instagram? No, TikTok. I don't know. Whatever. I think the little camera is Instagram. I don't know what the little J looking thing is. So, anywho, let's continue.
one of the most inarticulate criminals ever. The Miami Herald reports Barton, a U.S. Army veteran, falsely claimed PTSD and physical disabilities. He also claimed it left him so weak he couldn't even lift 10 pounds. However, he remained a hardcore bodybuilder with
Right there. I remember seeing people. I still see some of them on my gram or on my social medias where in the military, when I served with some of these people, they were shitbags when it came down to PT. They wrote profiles, or in the other services they call them chits. I think in the Navy and in Marine Corps they call them that. Basically, what it does, it restricts you from doing certain physical activities that you do in the mornings for PT, which is physical training. And they would write that shit up until they were medically retired or medically chaptered out. Either way, they would do this in order to build a case for them for that when they get out, they can get compensated for it. Okay. And again, if it's something that's legit, 100% gotcha. But when it's something that you claim, and then I see, like, for example, if you claim that you got a no run jump profile, or you're on a dead man profile, which is basically one that you can't do a goddamn thing, barely breathe. But then when you get out, after you're medically retired, you get out and you're posting up shit on social media of you lifting and running and how much of great shape you are. You're a piece of shit, dog, straight up.
social media posts for all to see. The Herald adds he will have to pump iron in federal prison for at least 10 months.
Good.
Yeah, they posted their criming via stripes.com. While pulling this scam, Barton and his wife were posting pictures and videos online of Barton pushing heavy iron to build his physique and flexing in the gym and on stage in contests. Investigators began tracking the muscular moves of Barton, such as moving furniture and regular workouts at gyms in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where Barton and his wife moved. T.C. Palm noted that prosecutors made mention of another Barton claim that he needed a cane to walk since 2010. Instead, social media posts between 2019 and 2021 showed Barton was an avid bodybuilder who participated in competitions.
I'm happy that they fucking got this dude. This dude right here, you deserve what you got, man. You're talking about you needed a cane, and I knew fools when I was going through my med board. I would see fools that would be walking all crippled and shit, and like they would dress up dirty when they would go see the CNP, which is compensation and pension doctors, just so that they could help their case, right? And then as soon as they started getting to the parking lot, everything was all back, sure to go, good to go. You know what I'm saying? Make it more difficult for those that are suffering in silence.
The reporting goes even further into how Barton swindled the money. Physically, he said he had limited motion of the arm at the shoulder level, and painful movement of the arm. In addition to the cane, he even committed to the charade enough to wear adult diapers when arriving at an appointment. In addition to the cane and diaper, Barton dropped a small book on the floor, indicating he had no strength to hold it. He claimed erectile dysfunction. He said his gym activities were limited to stretching. He claimed he could only go to the gym twice a week, using bands, sauna sitting, and small weights. All at the same time, Barton was also a self-described gym rat.
An Army vet bodybuilder scammed the VA out of $245,000 while claiming he couldn't even lift, bro. That's a fucking funny headline. You know, again, it goes to what I just said. These fools be pulling up a fucking, they deserve an Academy Award for some of the shit that they pull when they go to see their doctors. And then afterward, it's like, homie, you just said that you couldn't hold a book in your hand, but yet here you are, you know, competing in fucking bodybuilding competitions. Bob also again, it's these motherfuckers that they ruin it for those that are legitimately fucking hurting. And again, you know, most of the time the fools that are are the ones that try the most to avoid even going to the doctor because it shows weakness. All right. At the end of the day, especially if you came up in my era, it showed a sign of like weakness to even go see the medics for fucking for sick call. Like when you were sick, if you woke up and your body was aching, we came up through a generation that we called suck it up and drive on, you know, or wipe that sandy vagina, stop acting like a bitch. Pretty much is what it boiled down to. And in my trade, which was field artillery, your body will ache. We're lifting heavy ass fucking rounds. Not only that, we're our job in the field artillery is one of the most physical, if not the most physical, fucking demanding, physically demanding job there is. In placing these howitzers, these cannons to get them ready to shoot, it's not easy, especially if you're a light fighter, if you're towed, meaning that you're not on a paladin or a self-propelled howitzer. I mean, that one still breaks your motherfucking back. Don't fuck around and break track. Ha! Been there, done that. But let's say you're laying the weapon, or it's very, very heavy. If you guys want to know more about that, just go ahead and YouTube, occupying a howitzer, occupying a cannon, and it'll show you. It'll show you like how to when we get laid, and I'm not talking about the Diddy kind of laid. I'm talking about when we get laid to shoot our cannons. There's a lot of physically demanding tasks that need to be completed. So when we get out, we're pretty fucking. We're not even out, but even after the field problem, you're in a lot of pain, dude. And usually it'll go away. Especially if you're like, you come in and you're not physically fit. You will be physically fit, but there comes a point in time where you overexert your body and you hurt yourself. And one thing you need to do 100% is go get it documented. And they'll take X-rays and they'll make sure everything gets squared away. But I mean, I'll tell you what, they'll never give you an MRI until it's concluded that you need one. I mean, it took them forever and a day. I started complaining about my back after my deployment in 06. I went to Korea in 07. My body started fucking up in 08. I went to the doctors and all they did was take x-rays. I've been exposed to so much radiation that if I fart, I could probably take an x-ray of you. So with that said, until I got an MRI was when they noticed like, oh shit, this fool is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, I'm getting into the weeds here. Let's go back to the reaction.
Who was fond of posting his lifting exploits
Gym
on
rat.
social media.
Idiot.
You know what this tells me? Social media is a hell of a drug.
Fact.
Barton engaged with and provided workout advice to others and performed strenuous weightlifting activity, including leg pressing 650 pounds and chest pressing over 300 pounds. He performed activities of daily life such as shopping, driving a car, and walking his pet without any difficulty. Such activities included strenuous weightlifting, executing bodybuilding poses, and competing in a bodybuilding competition. Barton's admission to facts says none of the post images or videos showed Barton using any assistant devices at the time. In August 2019, when investigators learned Barton was moving to Colorado Springs, Colorado, they put a pole cam outside Barton's Florida home. They saw
Damn.
Barton walking, and on August 23rd, moving furniture with no problems. Still, on March 16, 2020, the VA granted his claim as having a spine degenerative disc disease related to his service, a problem that Barton said made it painful to even walk. On May 18, 2021, that jacked his PTSD disability percentage to 100%. Barton.
All right. So it seems that he already had a diagnosis of PTSD. And what ended up happening was, because I don't know his whole fucking VA claims history, but that alone is not going to get you to 100 just on PTSD. 100% on PTSD alone, that means that you can't even go outside of your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are beyond suicidal. You need to have care on you about 100% of the fucking time. So what they're doing is probably they're combining the combined rating. So, for example, for my lower back, the VA gave me 20%. Okay, 20% for my lower back, which is fucking ridiculous because these fucking idiots use something called range of motion, which is what he was talking about earlier, as far as that dude lifting up his shoulders and moving his shoulders and shit like that. So basically, what he was saying with that is like they depend. Like, let's say this is your back, right? And if you only move this much, okay, that's a certain percentage. If you move this much, it's a certain percentage. If this much, you're at 0% right there. So, anywho, this dude was really fucking faking the funk, talking about that it hurt to walk and shit like that. But yet he's doing fucking 600-pound leg press.
Then would skip a scheduled VA examination, but agents would then see him playing with his dogs, moving around as if simply there was no injury. After missing the checkup, he did hit a Planet Fitness early that morning, at which he gave another man workout fitness advice. He told the man he'd been lifting for the last 10 years, usually did cardio training in the morning and weights in the evenings. He told
Got his ass. Good. Got his ass. 245,000. And you know, that's nothing compared to those that have been scamming the fucking VA for years upon years upon years. I'll go to PTSD real quick. A lot of fools that have PTSD, they don't go out and wearing it like a fucking badge of honor or glorifying, like, oh, I have PTSD. You know, first of all, I don't call it suffering with PTSD or from PTSD. I call it living with PTSD, depending on what caused the trauma. You know what I'm saying? I know for a lot of women it's different. They got the MST, which is military sexual trauma that causes them PTSD. Got it. For the males, usually, it's combat related PTSD, and more than likely, a lot of these fools that's what they're going with. Yet, probably none of them ever even saw combat in their life. The only time they ever fired their weapon in country was to verify their zero. To verify that their sight picture was still proper. Other than that, they never fired their weapon at an enemy. Or, maybe they had an explosion happen somewhere on their FOB or their forward operating base, on their base, because it landed 500, 600 meters away. All of a sudden, everybody and their mama on that FOB gets a fucking a combat action badge, which they can then use to say that as proof that they have post-traumatic stress disorder, And again, they probably don't, you know what I mean? And here's another thing. Here's another kicker. It's not like it's every day that you're fucking suffering in pain, you know what I'm saying? Or, it's I'll go out and rake up my leaves. Do some yard work. I'll do that. And I still have household duties to do. I still have chores to do. But guess what? The next day, it's hard for me to get out of bed. And that's just from fucking raking, y'all. All right. As far as going out and stuff like that, it's a difficult fucking thing to do. I do it because I have to, but in silence in my own head. And this is not a woe is me type shit either. I still got kids. I still have a family, and it's not their fault that I have to. That I feel more comfortable within my four walls than I do going out in public or into an environment that's got, to me, what I perceive at times like a high threat. But anyways, that's another story for another day. But let's continue. But it's, again, this assholes like these $245 scam. I hope that they find this motherfucker 3 times that amount, and they should have kept his ass longer.
Told the man to meet him later at Flex Gym and Fitness for a workout. You know who that man was? Take a wild guess.
An agent.
It was a federal agent.
Got
During
him.
the workout, Barton discussed performance-enhancing steroids and bragged his use didn't even affect his ability to get an erection, which ran.
Let's talk about that one real quick. I'm gonna put myself out there right now, all right? And again, this is not a woe is me pity party type shit. But due to my disabilities, specifically one of them, I was unable to, get my chorizo to stand up. You know what I'm saying? To give that fucking that stand at attention. And a lot of us that came back from over there are went through that. I'll put it out there, dude. So y'all don't have to feel like you're the only one. Yeah, dude. For me, no matter what, I couldn't do it. And even when I did, when I was able to attain the position of attention with the little homie, I couldn't maintain it. That motherfucker would go to fucking parade rest and then go to sleep like within minutes. So, and what sucks is that starts affecting your family, specifically your spouse, because they start thinking like, oh shit, he's not attracted to me no more and shit like that, which then boils down into you having to explain to them, no, it's not you, it's because of this, and that causes to depression. Dude, trust me, there's so many fucking layers on this. But just know out there, look, I'm putting myself out into it, okay? It did happen to this guy, and occasionally it may or may not still persist. You know what I mean? And I have to have those discussions with my old lady sometimes. Like, look, it's not you, man. It's just that I don't know why. It's not that I don't find you attractive. It's just that it's not happening. So, anywho, moving on.
Counter to what he told VA doctors, Barton moved to Colorado Springs while scamming the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. He will move to one of the 3 federal prisons in Colorado after being sentenced to 12 months and $245,932 restitution in West Palm Beach federal court. Barton pleaded guilty in May to 1 count of theft of government property. Not only did he fake his disabilities, but he also admitted to never being in combat and made up stories to get a better disability rate.
That right fucking there. Motherfuckers that go out there and make up motherfucking stories that never happened of shit they never encountered. That pisses me off. Because again, you have dudes that were out there pounding that fucking ground, that were out there getting into shit, into firefights. Even if it was just one motherfucking firefight, it's more than enough to change your fucking life. Especially when you see your homies, your brothers getting fucking hit, and there's
rating for having PTSD. Posting your crimes? Add this dude to the list of America's dumbest criminals.
Fuck that. America's. I hope that he got fucking. I hope that they could redo his DD 214 to, instead of an honorable discharge or medical discharge, whatever they gave him, and give him a fucking other than honorable or even a fucking bad conduct discharge. Because this is, again, this not only does it affect the VA system itself, it affects the soldiers who are out there actively trying and fighting every fucking day to get any fucking penny that they've earned. Again, earned, okay, from the fucking VA. It's fucking difficult, man. I'm telling you from my own experience, having to fight to get okay, so I suffered a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, uh due to a grenade concussion, whatever. Um you know how fucking hard I had to fucking fight for that shit? And the VA has this funny thing that they like to do where they overlap it with other fucking existing conditions so that they don't have to pay you an extra percentage. They'll link it with something else. But one thing I learned that once you get to a certain rating, you might as well just, unless you have 100% proof, don't even do it, because what they're gonna do as soon as you refile a claim, they're gonna open up every single claim you have, and they're gonna go through every single one all over again. And sometimes it's not worth the fucking aggravation. I get it. Getting that hundo comes with a lot of benefits, but make sure that you actually are filing claims for shit that you actually are disabled for. Don't go like this idiot over here making up stories, making up lies about shit that they never did, they never saw. I'll end it on this. A lot of us who went through any combat action, I guarantee you, they give us what's called a combat action badge. For example, for those of us that are non-infantry, I was field artillery. They give us what's called a combat action badge. And I do remember when I was in Mosul and First Cav came over to replace us, 582 First Cav, 582 Field Artillery. Shout out 582 Field Artillery. I remember there were some privates that I was hearing talking, saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get hit so I can get a combat action badge." It pissed me off. I literally went off on these motherfucking privates, and I told them, "Here, you want a fucking combat action badge? Here you go. You could have mine. I'll gladly give it back to you, especially if it could bring back the 2 KIA from that day. You know what I mean? I will gladly give it to you. Unfortunately, your desire for wanting to be involved in some kind of fucking activity, it's not like the movies. It's not like fucking Call of Duty. You can't take that shit back, homie. Once it's done, it's done. When you see somebody right there laying in front of you, fucking taking their last breaths, when it's a service member, I don't give a fuck about the enemy. The enemy, they got what they fucking deserve. But when it's one of your own in your same uniform that they're fucking bleeding, you can't stop the bleeding. It's done. They're done for, because that fucking the wound that they received was on their fucking throat, and you can't put a tourniquet on there, can you? So you're seeing them right there, just gone, leaving you. Is that what you want to go through? Because that's what you're going to go through to actually earn a combat action badge or a combat infantry badge. Anywho, I'm getting into the weeds on this one. So with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction, man. Again, let me know what else you want me to react to. Send it over to the fucking in the comments, or you could shoot me email on thegunline@gmail.com. If you're a veteran, or if you're not even a veteran, if you want to jump on the podcast itself, the Shoot the Shit podcast that I do on the Gunline podcast, hit me up, man. I'll be glad to have you. I'll either do an interview or a point of view. I do that once a week. So I hope to hear from any of y'all veterans, or even non-veterans, civilians that want to come and just talk about their life and shit. Everybody has a story to tell. Come and tell it over here on the Gun Line. All right. With that being said, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I'm starting to get heated, so I'll catch y'all next time on the Gun Line. Deuces, y'all.